Hello once again, everybody. 21st Century Jedi here with you. Good to see everyone here tonight. Just getting stuff situated here. Get my stuff set up here. Oh, so I am gonna do a stream tonight. I was debating on what to play tonight, and I decided that I would go through with doing Silent Service by Microprose. I debated on doing a couple different games tonight. I thought about doing a text-based adventure game like Amazon, where you had like pictures in it as well. Fahrenheit 451 is another one. Both of them I think are from Trillium/Tellurium. I thought about doing those. I was like, I could probably get through them, but it's like, it's no fun if you're just kind of walking through the thing. I thought about doing Seven Cities of Gold. But I want to try that one first before I actually stream it, because the time period in which that was created is different than what we have for today. So I want to make sure that it's politically correct and everything, and that we don't have any like issues with the way that the natives are depicted in that game, and so on. I debated over a couple other options. I thought about doing California games and World games tonight, and I also thought about doing Super Bowl Sunday, because I probably wouldn't get a chance to do it next Sunday. I don't think. I played that game for like just a few minutes today, and I got frustrated with it completely. Um, that was painful to do. Um, it was. I was trying to, use one of the historic teams against another historic team like they were in the Super Bowl, and nothing was working. I couldn't run the ball effectively. There was no efficient passing game. There was no nothing. It was tough to really work with. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get away from that one. I'll do something like I know I can probably play, which is Silent Service. So let's go ahead and load that one up. All right, so you are here. We'll go ahead and auto start that. Yeah. So Silent Service, as you can see here, it's a World War II submarine simulator. Um, it was one of the games I played a lot as a kid. I even went so far as to make like audio logs on my boombox, um, to make like a ship's log where I would just kind of speak into a microphone and give the updates as to how I was doing with um, each not minute, but each action that I was taking within the game, what I was citing and all that stuff. It was geeky to say the least. So, but it was fun. Microprose put this out, I believe it was 1986. Let me pull a wiki up on this real quick. Silent Service C64 wiki. Of course, Silent Service comes from. Wow, that's bright. Let's see if we can turn that down a bit. There, jeez. Um, so Silent Service comes from the term that is used for um, the submarine service, from that started in World War II, basically. It was introduced in 1985. Another video game was designed by Sid Meier, classic guy there. Um, it was done in 1985 for 8-bit home computers, 16-bit systems in 1987 for systems like the Amiga. There was an NES version in 1989, by Konami. Silent Service 2 was done in 1990. Um, Tomo purchased the rights to the game, published it online through its Retroism brand in 2015. Okay. So there's no real intro to this game. You just kind of go right into as to what you want to do. Um, Let me just go through some quick descriptions here. Basically, you're taking control of a Gato class submarine for whatever you're going to do: torpedo gun practice, convoy actions, or war patrols. Um, what else could you do with this? So there's a lot of realism that was tried to be injected into this game. The war in the Pacific, of course, the tactical situations, the technology that evolved during World War II for submarines, such as like dud torpedoes versus good torpedoes, and Japanese tactics, the use of their destroyers versus the kaibokans, the use of sonar, things like that. Um, what else? It was in development for 8 months, and its creation was inspired by a fractal technological trick. Interesting. Let's see. It sold 250,000 copies by March 1987. It was Microprose's second best-selling Commodore game as of late 1987. It sold 400,000 copies overall. Um, it received great ratings from Info. It received a good rating from Antic. Um, Compute wrote that in 1986 that like F-15 Strike Eagle, Silent Service is both intriguing and addictive, a superior product. One moment, please. Sorry, I had a sneeze there. Um, So it was done on the Ataris, like the Atari 800, and there's the second one. I believe it was done on the Atari ST. It was done on the Atari 800, I believe, the 8-bit Atari computers. Um, it was awarded the Charles S. Roberts Award for Best Adventure Game for Home Computer of 1985. I've never played Silent Service 2, so I can't begin to tell you if it's better or worse than this one. I can say that this one was a lot of fun to play, so we are going to have some fun, I hope, with this. Okay, I'm going to minimize that for now and bring that back. Let's try some torpedo gun practice. No on the dud torpedoes, no on the port repairs. We're going to keep it easy right now, just so you can kind of see the game. And we'll go ahead and continue. Load time 1 minute. So what I always like to play in this one was the War Patrols option number 3. With that one, you basically take control of the sub. You know go all around the Pacific looking for convoys where you could sink tankers and cargo ships and troop ships while avoiding and escaping the destroyers or kaibokans. You have at your disposal 24 torpedoes as well as a deck gun which has, I believe, 80 shells. For the War Patrol, you cannot, what is it called? You cannot replenish. Um, I don't believe you can replenish at port, though it makes me wonder about the port repairs at this point. Let me take a look at that. Okay, so there's our conning tower view. Let me bring this up real quick. I'm sorry for the brightness. Um, Curious about the port repairs, honestly, because that's a difficulty level that you can use. Oh, I see. So it's basically perma damage is what it really means. So if you take things like port repairs only, then you can't. If you damage something on the sub, you got to live with it until you get back to port, and then by that time the patrol is over, because that's how you end it really. Um, so we're going to keep port repairs off so we can repair stuff while we're at sea. So here's what we can do here. We can move to each of these stations here, up, down, left, or right, basically. We'll start up here. So what we see here is this is you looking outside the conning tower. You can see there's some land over on the left. You can see there's 4 ships ahead of us here. Looks like a troop ship, a cargo ship, another cargo ship, and a tanker. And we'll try and zoom in on that in the periscope view. So when we go to the periscope view, you can see it lights up when we get over the ship. And then the technical part comes into play where you can use your torpedo data computer, or TDC, to calculate like the range and the speed of the target, the angle off the bow on the bow of the target itself, which is another one of those geometric calculations you got to make. Your lead angle and your target course. You can do your speed as well. We're going to make everything run silent here and just stop so we don't get any closer to it. Let's go to the map. We can see there we are. If we zoom in on the map, you can zoom in to see our little black dot there is the submarine. If you look really close, you can see there's a tail to the black dot that shows your aft. Kind of gives you a direction in which way you're going. The same thing with the ships. You'll see there's these bright dots and then there's little gray streaks kind of showing the aft section of the ship. So it kind of gives you a direction in which it's going. So again, this is for practice. So we're simply, lining up a torpedo and just shooting it at these ships, and then you can kind of see what happens as a result of that. There's only so far we can zoom in on this. Let's go below deck here. This gives you your damage reports. If there are any damages to, say, the batteries or the torpedo tubes or machinery or something like that, it will indicate it here in the damage reports. Over to the left, you have your gauges, which give you indications. Let me see if I remember these correctly. So this one over here is your battery charge, I believe. These down here are your fuel oil gauges, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to bring up the documentation on this, see if I can find it. Where is the gauges? Here we are. Okay, so, yep, battery level. The battery charge light is right there too. This indicator right here shows like the yellow means that the battery is charging or attempting to charge. If the lights are different here, then it shows that the battery's in use. Your speed gauge is right here. This goes from 0 to 20 knots. Your depth gauge is, let's see, I gotta zoom in a little bit to see this better. Show me the depth gauge. Yeah, depth gauge is going to be over on this side. Here's your torpedoes, your shells on your deck gun. I believe L is your compass. This is your indicator showing that you're traveling east. K is your Christmas tree, indicating the status of all hull openings. Green light indicates closed, red light indicates open. These are closed automatically when you want to dive. J is water temperature. Water temperature is right here. A blue dial hand indicates that the sub is below a thermal gradient layer. Now, if you remember when I played Red Storm Rising, the thermal gradient layer is very important for submarines because you can use that to hide underneath the layer itself to avoid detection by sonar. And that's very important in this game. Again, here's the fuel levels. The diesel fuel floats on top of the water. The tubes show the amount of fuel, black, and water in each tank. So the black indicates the fuel, the white indicates the water. It's to help the submarine remain neutrally buoyant, I believe, to fill it with water instead of fuel. Once the fuel is consumed, you have to fill it up with water, or else you've got a void in there, and it becomes more difficult for the submarine to submerge. Your periscope indicators here. Torpedoes ready. Depth under the keel is, I believe, which one? It's I showing that. This is the depth under the keel. When the gauge reaches 0, you'll run aground. Maximum gauge reading would be 500 feet. So this would mean 500. This is about 270, I would say, right here. What else? The clock. This is a clock showing the time of day. This is your dive bubble, showing whether you're diving or surfacing. Your throttle, of course, is right here. I think that's all the gauges and stuff. So the ones to look at most, you're going to be obviously keeping track of your torpedoes and your shells. You want to keep track of your depth, which is this is your depth. This is your depth under the keel. Your thermal layer. That's another one you're going to watch a lot, as well as your battery. Okay. The rest of the stuff you can kind of get an idea. You know what your speed is down at the bottom here. You can get your depth as well. Time of day can matter. Knowing your speed, of course, is fine. So really the big stuff is, again, the thermal layer, how deep you are, how many torpedoes you have, how many shells you have. So, okay, let's go ahead and fire a torpedo here. Let's see what happens. I've got this one already lined up. It's a tanker. To fire a torpedo, we can just hit T, launch away. It says it's on a 180-degree track. You can see there goes the torpedo with the bubble stream. The bubble stream is important in this game because it does give away your position. And when it does that, then the destroyers and the Kaibokans can actually track you and find you. So, what happened here? Everything just turned to destroyers? Oh, that's great. What the heck happened? Oh, that's funny as heck. All four ships turned into destroyers. Well, that's fun. Um, we've got periscope damage now. Leakage 220 gallons per second. That is crazy. Why is it they all turned to destroyers? That's crazy. Well, let's shoot some guns at them then. Let's deflect this down about 100 yards. See if we can hit them. Wow, they are merciless. It is possible to sink a destroyer or a Kaibokan using just a deck gun like this. Your sub is lost at sea. That's the weirdest thing. I've never, you know what? I don't even remember if I ever tried torpedo or gun practice. I don't know if I've ever done that before. That is crazy. You're thinking you're sinking a tanker, and all of a sudden they all turn to destroyers like that. That's crazy. Oh well. We'll wait for it to reload here, and then we'll do an actual war patrol. I remember even playing this game in college, I believe. I believe I played it in college. It was either this or Red Storm Rising. I remember playing it with my friend Dan. Um, he had I don't know if he had any. He might have had a Commodore as well. I had brought I think it was my 128 up to college, and we would play baseball games and other games and stuff just to entertain us. And one of the games I think I brought with me was Silent Service, and I remember it because we actually wound up taking the fixture off of the overhead light and hanging up a red sheet over the light just so we could simulate a red light inside of the room, the dorm room, and it made it look like we were inside like a submarine with the red light in there as well. This is taking an awful long time. Let me warp this real quick. There we go. All right, War Patrol. Now I remember I used to take the Seawolf a lot. The time that you take in here does matter because it determines like um, what technologically is available. Let me go back a couple pages. There is like I know like for example, dud torpedoes weren't worked out until I think 1943. Yeah, September 1943. So, for example, if you were to take the USS Tang in June 1944, you're not likely to have dud torpedoes historically, and you would also have the Mark 20 electric torpedoes, which are wakeless, but they're slower. Um, you wouldn't quite have Japanese having radar on their escort vessels, although in October of 1944, which is option number 5 here, you would. So these are the things you kind of have to consider. Um, mm, I think what I'm going to do is take Seawolf. I'll take Seawolf on this one. Hello. You have been selected for a dangerous patrol mission. Please identify the Japanese Type J destroyer. This is, again, copyright protection, making sure that you actually own the game by owning the manual. This was a common tactic for most software publishers. And they would do this to, again, ensure that you were buying the game and you were not just kind of hacking the game itself and not getting the manual. Although, to be fair, I mean, most people, if they did do this, they would probably photocopy the manual itself at a library or something like that. But, what are you going to do? Let's see. Of these, it looks like number 4 is the correct silhouette here. So we're going to go ahead and pick that one. Good luck, Captain. Now, if for some reason that failed, it would tell you that it's reassigned for training, and you'd have to go do some sort of torpedo dud practice or something like that. Um, so if you get that wrong, it would actually prevent you from doing the war patrol. It's possible that somebody may have hacked that so that that check no longer matters, but um, who knows? All right, so we don't want dud torpedoes. I think we're going to keep that off. Port repairs, no. Expert destroyers. What does that one do? That says certain enemy convoys will be escorted by expert destroyers. These escorts are more persistent and have better trained sonar operators. Sure, we'll turn that one on. Convoy search. Convoys will not always appear within radar range. You will need to search them out. I think we can do that one too. Angle on bow input. This is if you really want to get technical, which is the computer won't calculate the angle on the bow input. You actually have to manually figure it out based on your periscope observations. Um, that's a tough one. So we're not going to do that tonight. And I'm not too worried about difficulty levels here. Let me see if midshipman is good or if I want to bump it up a level here. Accuracy of torpedo runs, damage sustained from depth charge attacks, skills of enemy lookouts and sonar operators, as well as other factors. We could probably try 2. I'll go lieutenant level. Might sink on my first patrol here, but whatever, you know. Expert destroyers, convoy search. Yeah, I think I like this. Okay. Here we go. So a lot of this is understanding the workings of how the game interprets things. Obviously, in real life, this was different. These things were all absolutes, but in the game, basically, the lookouts for the Japanese are at at daytime. I believe it's about 10,000 yards. They can see you on the surface. At nighttime, it goes down to about 3,000 yards. The range of the torpedoes is, I think, 4,500 yards, but you want to get closer if you can to ensure accuracy. But there's a minimum range on the torpedoes of 450 yards. So let's go. Let's take a peek and see if there's anything around. Oh, why are we? What? Why are we here? No, this shouldn't be happening. Well, you know what? Let's just shoot something. I think this game might be broken. All right, so we hit the troop ship. This shouldn't be happening. I think we are supposed to find our um, we're supposed to find our enemy, not have them show up like this. This could be a bug here, so if the ship doesn't sink after a few shots of this, I'm going to restart the game. This is a 4-inch deck gun we're firing at it, by the way. There it goes. So it is sinking. Why is this thing turning towards us? It's going 0 knots. How are you doing this? What kind of magic is this? I'm just going to start throwing torps out here. This is very weird. So you can see sometimes you got to offset yourself by a degree or so because the scope isn't 100% accurate. Some of these are going to be very difficult to hit. That torpedo looks like it's going to miss somehow. Yeah, and now they turn to destroyers. Okay, this thing's bugged. It's bugged. Let's go ahead and reset real quick. Sorry, guys. That's just weird to me. I don't know why it's doing that. I'll warp this up and make it speed up here. All right, War Patrol, Sea Wolf. Type A destroyer. We'll make sure we get this right here. That's going to be looks like 3. We're going to go level 2. We're going to use expert destroyers and convoy search. Let that load up. We'll speed it up a little more. Should take about 10 seconds here, or that. That's not supposed to let us do this. Why is it going to the same spot every time? That's strange. I think my copy of this is bugged. It might be irretrievably bugged at this point. Do I have another version of this, maybe? It's unfortunate because I was really kind of hoping to play this. Let me see if I can find another version of this. Bear with me 1 second. Alright, let's see if this version works. Give me 1 moment here. Alright, do a quick reset. Oh, these loading screens. Yeah. What? Alright, let's warp this again. There we go. War Patrol. Type D destroyer. That is going to be, I think it's the top one. So when you're checking these out, by the way, just so you understand what I'm looking at here, is you're looking at the profile of the destroyer. They've got images in the manual to show you what is type D, they call it. I don't think these are historically accurate, obviously, but you're basically looking at the profile of the destroyer, determining things like what does the bow look like? What does the forecastle look like? How many funnels does it have? Does it have this funny little thing on the back here, or is it a main mast here of some sort? Just things like that that you're looking at to see what is the actual profile of this. And you just try and match it up with the picture they have in the manual, and that's how you get it. So this one should be number 1. 2, we're going to do expert destroyers and convoy search. And let's hope this works. 2 minutes. Ooh. Why is it taking 2 minutes, I wonder? Conning tower. Periscope view. This is interesting. Showing us all the screens and stuff as we load this. There we go. Okay, 52 days fuel, press F7 to patrol. Use joystick to move sub to convoy routes. When border turns red, press trigger to attack convoy. By border, they're talking about this area here on the screen. When action is complete, press F8 to resume patrol. All right, so F7, here we are. We're the little black dot here. So we want to get cruising here. I'm heading straight for Japan if I can. I'll just start going around the island, see when I can sink there. They have a map that shows you like the patrol routes or the convoy routes. So you kind of have to get lucky here and try and find something. Here we are in Tokyo Bay. Not fine. Oh, there we go. Enemy ship sighted. Great. Okay, so we are submerged. I'm just going to zoom in a tiny bit. Don't know where the enemy ships are, so we're going to have to do some investigation here. So we're at bearing 0. We're going to go all the way around with our periscope and see if we sight anything or not. Any little dots on the horizon here might be ships, so we definitely want to keep an eye out for them. All right, so we're looking at the east now. We're moving to the southeast. Where are the enemies? Aha! They appear to be bearing 146, 147. It looks like 4 of them. Okay, we don't know how far away they are, but we do need to get closer to them. Ooh, there's 5 of them? Ooh, interesting. There could be a lot here. Let's take a look at the map. I kind of want to surface, honestly. Because I feel like they're that far away. Now, if we look up here, good visibility, but we still can't see them from here. Which means they probably can't see us. But they are there. Bearing 150 usually. And they look like they're heading south. Because they're heading to the right here. So it looks like they're heading south somewhere. So we want to angle our sub. Do a full right rudder. We want to avoid the landmass that's there. I'm thinking we're going to go 135. Increase our speed. We got 10 knots now. I'm thinking we just kind of do 135. Go to full speed. Usually the convoys travel around 8 to 10 knots depending on the ships that there are in it. So we just got to keep an eye out for them. Now, of course, our periscope is moved. We have to move it all the way back. Thought there was a way to do it faster, but I guess not. We do want to be careful because again, it's daytime and you know they can sight us pretty far away, so we got to be careful. They are bearing 160, and again, there's looks like there's 6 of them, which is interesting. It's a big convoy. At least one destroyer. You know there's one. I believe it is possible in this game, if I remember correctly, on the easier levels at least, you could run into convoys that are just cargo ships and no Kaibokans and no destroyers. But most of the time, if you get something that's more than 2 or 3 ships, you're probably going to have a destroyer escort that's going to go and try and hunt you down. Still not sighting them. We know they're there. We'll go flank speed. All I want to do is kind of get around that island that's south of us here. Oh, hey, there you are. Okay, let's slow down a bit. So we found them. They're heading through the islands? That's tricky. Wonder how the game's going to handle that. In that case, full right. We'll go flank speed around the island, I guess. This is interesting. The reason why I say that is because I don't recall how the game handles it if the ships are really close to the land like that. I mean, that's just very strange. But my thinking now is to go to the southwest, get around the island, try and meet them on the other side using my speed. Now, one thing we can do to make this go faster is we can use time scaling. By doing a time scale of 2, only a time scale of 2. Thought we can go faster than that. Either way, I don't trust putting my sub on the green areas there because it's got to mean land, right? Let's take a look at what do the gauges say. Full battery power. We can bring our periscope down if we choose. The depth under the keel indicates we've got probably 300 feet of depth. Another thing to note too is that, and this may or may not be obvious for anybody who's following along with this, but when you submerge your sub, it goes slower underwater. You know, it's using the battery power instead of using the diesel engines so much, so that makes it go slower. The max speed underwater is, I believe, 10 knots. I'm a little concerned here because I don't want to. If this island on the map is kind of a mirage, then it's possible I may be getting too close to these guys. That doesn't look like it. They're still out there. I don't know how they're doing though, if they're getting hung up on the land or what. The time scaling, I thought if you just hit the F key, that would be enough, but I don't see that happening. Each subsequent key press doubles the speed to a maximum of 32 times real-time speed. See the time scaling section for more details. Why don't they show that? Let me find the time scaling section just to see. What if I have to hit it faster? There we go. This is timescale 4, so this should be 1 hour of game time will take 2 minutes at timescale 4. Okay. The blinking dots, I think, indicate that they're the last indicated positions of the ships in question. I think timescale 4 is the fastest we can do. So let's start going south to like 180 at this point. I need to get closer to these guys. What do we see here? There is land. I wonder... Doesn't appear to be anything straight ahead of us, so we shouldn't run aground. They should be off to our southeast still. I still see 6 of them. The old diesel engine just working away here at 20 knots. It's not letting me go and stay on timescale 4. Interesting. I wonder why. They seem to be heading southwest, which means we might be able to approach them and attack them soon. This ought to be a good convoy, I think. So now they look like they're going in different directions here, which is strange. There they are. Whoa. Normal. I think we got destroyers on our tail right now. Alright, yeah, we do. That's a destroyer. And 2,500 tons, yes. We have 2 of them. We are going to go and submerge. I believe the depth max is... Nope. 42, I think, is the depth we want. Yep. Alright, so... we need to get away from those guys. They are not pinging us. Oh boy, look at that. So the game... Oh, there they go. Destroyers are closing. They're trying to ping on the sonar. They're stuck on the land, though, it looks like. I wonder how they're going to work that out. Are we getting any closer to look like they're closing. Can't tell though. Where are the other ships? They're still pretty far away. What's also interesting is they got two ships that are kind of veered away from the convoy, and the other 2 or 3 are still sitting way back there. So I'm not sure what tactics they're using at this point. Either way, it looks like I got 2 of them lined up over here. I might be able to spot them. Ah, look at this. Here's a cargo ship that's 4,000 tons and a tanker, 7,000 tons. So we know it is choosing a course of 225 degrees, 10 knot speed, which is matching us. So that makes it difficult to catch him. The good news is he's heading towards us, so we have a chance of, shooting him with a torpedo. And that cargo ship is with it. I would love to be able to shoot 2 torpedoes right now and hit both of them. But I have to close the range a little bit on both. Now they're doing 236 for the target course. Those other destroyers out there yet? Looks like they're coming. I can't tell if they spotted us yet or not, but the goal here now is going to be try and hit the tanker, because that's the biggest tonnage one right there. We're going to try and get as close as we can to it. Fire our torpedoes, 1 each at the tanker and 1 each at the cargo ship, and then submerge and hope that there's a thermal gradient layer we can hide under. So let's get in position here. Looks like, ooh, we got some other ones coming up here. We got another tanker out there, another cargo ship, and it looks like a troop ship at various ranges too. So that cargo ship's almost in range. I think what I want, if I remember correctly, I used to try and get to about 2,000 yards of range and then try to shoot the torpedo. Because around 2,000 yards, the icon, the actual sprite, expands a little bit and it becomes easier to kind of range and shoot. He is zigzagging, which is a problem. Because now he's doing a course of 213. He was doing 236. He was doing 225. So he's kind of varying his course a little bit. Which makes sense. Zigzag convoys. I'd like to see if I can catch him when he zigzags to, like, say, course 225. He's almost there. There he is. See that sprite just popped up like that? We're getting really close to him now. I think it's about time we shoot here. There's one. Let's try and get the other one out. I don't know if it's going to work, but if it goes off, we'll hear it. Yep, the destroyers are closing in, so we'll just go ahead and shoot our torpedoes here and hope for the best. Periscope down. We will dive. Oh, we got an explosion. We must have hit the tanker. That is great to hear. Oh, we got the cargo ship too. Excellent. Couldn't tell if we sank them, but that's fine. What we need to do now is get underneath the thermal gradient if we can. They're going to hit depth charges any second now. We got to try and stay out of their circle if we can. Full left. And reduce our speed. Make it hard to hear us. I think our depth is... we don't want to go any lower than 300 on this thing. Keep our dive planes level. Lower our speed a little bit more. Looks like those ships are still moving, which is unfortunate. I was hoping to get them done here. Third ahead. We're gonna go as quiet as we can here. They might have lost us here. Let's run silent here and see if they go by us. Rig for silent running. Alright, so the other factor we're going to have to take into consideration here is our battery power, which is going down rapidly here. Oh, but we have hit the thermal layer, so they can't detect us. Or if they can, it's going to be very difficult. So we're going to go all out. Try and get away from the destroyers and finish off these two ships and call it a day. That's my guess here. So the destroyers are going to circle. That's what they're doing now. That's these two dots here. They're circling to see where I might be. Getting out of that circle is what we want to do, so... that one's tailing me, it looks like. Or he's tailing the ships that we hit, which is fine. I'm good with that. He doesn't seem to be directly following me. He doesn't have a ping on me yet. Passive sonar's got those two ships on right now. Unfortunately, we can't surface because that destroyer is right there. What to do? My guess is the destroyer is going to pass us by because he's faster. But I want to keep up if I can. What I might do here is just try and tail him as long as I can. Let the destroyer get ahead, and then when I know it's out of range, or at least far enough away, surface, let the battery recharge, hit these two ships, finish them off with the deck guns, and then take the sinkings and then just get the heck out of Dodge. That's kind of what I'm thinking right now. Oh, they found me. Let's slow down here. forward. Just in case he decides to depth charge me. Yeah, he's going to depth charge me. There we go. No explosion? Thought for certain we'd have an explosion there. We're running out of battery power, about 25% right now. And we've lost the thermal gradient. That's a problem. We can't go any lower. I think we just kind of have to find the thermal gradient layer and then let them bypass us a bit. The nice thing about this time period is that I believe the Japanese destroyers tended to set their depth charges a little bit too shallow to catch us. So being at this depth is good. They're not likely to hit us with the depth charges, I don't think. The question is, can they detect us still? Let's try and bring up the speed a bit. I want to get back under the thermal gradient and then hide. Alright, torpedo tubes have been reloaded. That's good to see. Aha! Now we can run silent. We are under the gradient. We're going to let them go over our head a bit. So unfortunately, we're going to lose the cargo ship and the tanker until these guys move off. They're going to get out of range. And then trying to detect them from here is tough. Now the question is, where and when do you surface? Do you try and do it now, get a bearing on them, take a quick shot? What do you do? I'm going to get up to periscope depth. Alright. Let's go see where everybody's at. Okay, so that looks like the cargo ship. We've effectively halved its speed. We can't see anybody else, unfortunately. They're all down there. Alright. 2 destroyers are there. Thought we might see the other ships, but now I don't know. They must have sallied off the other way here. I don't even see them. must be way out of range. Either way, I definitely want to finish off this cargo ship. Because we've crippled it and the tanker. I know we have. We hit with torpedoes. We hit with 2 hits. Which is why we don't want dud torpedoes. This makes this game infinitely harder. Yeah, they're out of range now. We have to kind of sneak up on them, I think. So it's poor visibility. What is the time of day? I wonder. Let's go speed 8 or 10 knots and try and close in. I don't know. I don't know if those destroyers, if they can't see me, will they try to stay with the crippled ships or not? Our heading should be a little bit more this way. What are they bearing? They're around let's say 209. Let's go that way. We'll set our course for about 210. That's good. So the trick now is we want to be able to just get in range of the crippled ships and stay out of sight of the destroyers. If we can do that, I think the destroyers will outpace the ships that are damaged. Alright, hold up. Let's go slow. There's the cargo ship. We want to make sure we do not allow the destroyers to catch us. What is our range on our deck gun, I wonder? Let me find out. It had a range of up to 8,000 yards and a fairly rapid rate of fire. Okay. For those wondering too, it is possible. It is possible for you to wait. Like here it is. We started this encounter around noon, and here it is like 2:30 already in terms of game time. We're gonna go ahead and speed up again. I'm gonna make a bearing of 180. I'm thinking I'm gonna come up on its port side. Yeah. I want to come up on its port side a little bit aft and keep the destroyers at bay there just enough so I can get close to where I feel comfortable firing at the cargo ship. Ideally, if I can also have the tanker in range, then life's good. If we attract the destroyers again, then we got a problem. But the other good news is our battery is recharging slowly. Let's see what they do. They are clustered close together, so I'm just wondering how those destroyers are going to handle this. That looks like the cargo ship, or the tanker. And they're going to do this little shifty thing on the sprites. We'll just wait till we get in range. Unfortunately, we can't match their speed precisely. We kind of have to that's the cargo ship. Kind of have to just be ready to shoot on this thing. It's coming towards us. I'm going to have the gun deflection down by about 25 yards. Not a lot. Again, the goal is to be able to hit it with a deck gun and just pop it, sink the thing, and then if we can get the tanker too, that's even better. It shouldn't take that much to kill him. I'm thinking only a couple shells from the deck gun if we hit. We'll keep knocking down their speed as it happens. Again, it's just enough to just sink him, and then once we sink both of them, we're out of here. We don't need to stick around for the destroyers. We don't really care about the other ships. Getting a tanker is a positive thing if you can do it. Alright, so we're maintaining distance, which is interesting. We don't see the tanker yet. Kind of a cat and mouse game right now. I do want my batteries to recharge. That way, if I need to submerge quickly, I can still maneuver. We don't have any damage. One of them looks like it's found me. I'm guessing that's the destroyer. It's just the way that they're moving right now is so difficult to see. Can't quite get them on the plot map. Let's close in by turning to 190. Close enough. Periscope says we are closing. Again, we can't see the tanker yet. That cargo ship is lagging behind. Again, we don't want to just fire willy-nilly. We want to try and get as close as we can and also be able to get within range of the tanker. And the only way you can tell is by if this little reticle lights up or not. If you fire at what you think is a good shot here, it's going to probably miss. That's just speaking from experience there. You don't want to fire at them when there's these little dots like this, because then it almost never works. You want to try and get there when you can definitely ID them. Like I said, the only one that's showing up is that cargo ship at the back. They gotta be coming close, though. They're pretty close to each other, so. How's our visibility out there? Average visibility. we're looking into the sun. They're looking away from the sun, so they could probably see us, possibly. We gotta be careful of that. That looks like a destroyer. Oh, that's a cargo ship. There's the destroyer. It's going 5 knots. Look at that. At least I think it is. Nope, it's going 12 knots. Which means it hasn't detected us yet. But they are staying right close to that cargo ship. It's only 500 yards away from it, roughly. We are getting closer, though, which is good. We can't pull it on the map yet. We're going to go ahead another 10 degrees to get a little closer still. There, 12, 5. I mean, we could try to take shots at the destroyers too. I don't like wasting all of my deck gun shells. You only get 80 of them, so you want to be able to do it in such a way that you know you're going to get a kill, you know, or use it as a last resort. They are kind of bunched up right now. Oh, now we got a problem. We got to submerge. Periscope up. Let's take a look at them. They did find me again, which is unfortunate. Oh, where are you guys? Where'd they go? They must be over to the right here. Yep, 26 knots, they're flying. Alright, what can we do here? We know their course is 247 right now at the moment. Periscope down. We're going to try and go on a parallel course to them and get closer to those guys and try and leave the destroyers behind. Our speed underwater will help us with that. I'm going to try and reduce our noise, though, because we're not deep enough yet. Go deeper. I would like to get under the gradient again. And then go full out after those 2 ships. Yeah, we're not getting it. Go 2/3 speed ahead, keep up with them at least. The moment we think, oh, you know what? Flank speed, go. They're going to circle there. Let's hope for the best. They're actually over to our west. I think I'm going to go full right. Go this way. We don't know where anybody is. There they are. A long encounter. I was hoping to get through a couple of these tonight. Instead, I'm stuck with just one. Oh good, we're under the layer, so they're going to get lost. They're not circling, though. I was hoping they would circle for a little bit and try to find me, but they didn't. Instead, they're trying to cruise back. How's our battery gauge anyways? Yeah, we're starting to eat it. I'll have to go as far as we can here. That destroyer is heading towards me, but he's also heading towards the other ships. I want to keep a sharp eye on that gradient. The minute it goes away, I want to go to run silent. Like that. Let him go over me. We did manage to gain some ground, I think. He's going to go past us. I believe we can surface here at least. Go 1/3 speed ahead, 2/3 speed ahead, I think. Try and maintain speed. Try and get closer. Hopefully we don't get detected. Let's go to 2/3 speed. Keep our noise down. We're going to go to periscope depth again and see how close we are to the ships, and again hope that we can surface, fire a few shots, and then get the heck out of there. We can't outrun the destroyers. That's a problem. Periscope up. Where are we at? Oh goodness, there's the destroyer. He does not see us because he's running at 12 knots. Those other ships, man, they fly for 5 knots. I don't know where our other destroyer friend went to, though. Oh, there you are. Problematic. I thought we were going to be closer to those other 2 ships. We're not. Yeah, I know. Low battery level. We can't do much about it. We really can't. It's taking all that we've got to stay with them. We're gonna go. Oh, you dog. Periscope down. Wow, what a cat and mouse game this is. Let's try and lose them. can see how expert destroyers are tough here, see? My hope was to... My hope was to get closer to these guys and avoid the destroyers, but that's not going to happen here. And we're going to run out of battery power, which it won't doom the sub. It just means that we can't move, you know? Maybe that's a good thing here. We're going to have to wait for these guys to go anyways. They're going to go... Yeah, they don't even know we're here. We'll surface to periscope depth. We're not going to go anywhere yet. We're just going to kind of stay still. We definitely need to get to the surface at some point. Let's track him. Yeah, he's about 4,000 yards away. That's so unfortunate, man. I really want to go and finish these guys off. I don't want to wait till nighttime if I can help it, but I might have to here. It's already going to be close to 1,600 hours. I don't know what the visibility is like because it changes throughout the day. Sometimes you can have great visibility, sometimes it's poor. It all depends on the day, you know, time of day. If it's hazy out, that's what they kind of reflect there. This one's 6,000 yards away. Their detection range is about 10,000. I want to stay, I'd say if I get to around 7,500 yards, it might be safe to surface at least. Periscope down. We'll surface. We'll see if they come our way or not. There they are. They're way out there. Average visibility, so I think we're okay for now. We definitely need to recharge our battery, though. We're going to have to just try and track them at long distance until we can get a favorable position on them. Yep. And the only other thing I can think of is to just go flat out, flank speed, try and get around them at a long distance, you know? It is possible to do, but it takes a long time to do it. You know, it's funny. I used to think that the battery was recharged through solar power on a sub. It wasn't until much later in life I realized that batteries could be recharged from diesel electric engines. Silly me. That shows you what kind of thinking a kid has sometimes. Again, so the new tactic I'm going to try is to go this way and then try to get about here, maybe, without being seen by the destroyers, who are already pretty far away. So I'm going to try and flank it this way. Try and get ahead of them. We're going slightly north of west here, just to get, again, trying to do an end around on these guys without being spotted. Give us a chance to recharge the battery. It is charging now, so that's a good thing. We're almost at sunset here, I think. Poor visibility, which is good for us, as long as we can keep track of them. Life should be good here. Reset the periscope on me. Keep that periscope down. Again, we just want to get around these guys. Time speed. They're still heading southwest, so it's going to take us a little while to get around them. Going 260 now. Playing it just cautiously here. We don't want to irk those destroyers if we can help it. And it's starting to get towards nighttime, which is going to be very interesting. I've lost sight of them. Let's just keep them on the map here if we can. Try and bring our sub around to them now. Now we're heading more of a southwest direction. And again, all we want to do is try and keep them on our, I don't want to say radar, but just keep them close so we can get ahead of them. We're still recharging a battery, which is good. We just want to get there. Keep them in range. Don't lose them. You know. So we can see them here. They can't really see us. Day change? Nope. They are bearing what now? They are bearing... they're all the way over to the east here, so we gotta move this thing. See if we can catch just a glimpse of them is all I want. Yeah, we can't quite see them. To course 180. If they're continuing to head southwest, we should close in on them now. And we can barely see them now. The battery does not want to recharge, does it? Credit to the destroyers, though. Like, the AI actually keeps them close to the crippled cargo ship here. Too often I play games where you get that AI where it's like, hey, I'm going to escort these ships, and then you damage those ships, and then the escorts just kind of go and doo-doo-doo, tootle off on their merry way at a different speed, and they don't match the crippled ships. They just kind of leave them behind. I've seen that with like modern games that were released a couple years ago, you know. So credit to the designers here for allowing these destroyers to stay close to the crippled ships here. Bearing due east now. Gotta be getting close to them by now. Ideally, if I can get in front of them, that's even better. Because my thinking is they'll be heading towards us, you know, and then we'll be able to fire the gun off. Hopefully the crippled ships will be out front this time, and we'll be able to do something about it. We're getting close. They're starting to come in the range now. Now we're starting to turn into the left. They're going to start running into us now. We're still trying to get out far ahead and have them move towards us. Poor visibility still, which means they can't see us, which is good. We have a good chance at this one, I think. We're definitely outpacing them. How's our battery level, by the way? Alright, we're above 25%. It's interesting how it keeps moving us over to the patrol map. Nothing's changed on the daytime here. We are now 5:10 in the evening here. In a couple more hours, I imagine it's going to go to sunset. That'll change visibility conditions. The darker it gets at nighttime, the less chances they'll have of sighting us. So that's another good thing. Jeez, where are these guys? I kind of want to turn to 225 at this point. Turn our speed down. We're too far out. Hold on. Now they should be coming straight towards us. Still recharging. That's good. on. I feel like they're going more south-southwest as opposed to southwest, so I'm trying to move myself over just a little bit more. It's not time passage. I wonder why the screen keeps bluing out like that. It's kind of weird. How far away are we from these guys? Let's see if they're coming at us or not. They are. They're doing it very slowly. You can almost sight them at this point. And there's a darn destroyer there. But now we've got the tanker in sight, which is good. His target course is 213. I want to match that. They might still be zigzagging, but that's fine. As long as the destroyers aren't there, we're going to have to just start taking shots at this guy. Let's set our speed to 1/3 ahead. Again, we want to try and match their speed as much as possible so the gun deflection is minimal. Oh boy. No destroyer in sight yet. Why? Alright, he's still 12 knots. He hasn't raced up to 26 to try to pursue me. More notably, I cannot see the cargo ship. That's way back there. You know, I'm kind of thinking now. I'm thinking we might want to submerge for a moment, let him get closer, and then try to pop up and kill him. Those destroyers are hanging really tight to that tanker. Very, very close. So close, in fact, that you can't even get like the tanker on the reticle here. That's bad. But it does look like we can finally see the cargo ship. We let them keep getting closer here. We might get a chance at this. There's our tanker friend. There's the cargo ship. That's almost in range. There it is. Oh boy. How lucky do we feel? That cargo ship ain't getting any closer is the other problem. They are turning. Now might be a good time to try. As the destroyers head to the back there, now might be a good time. I'm going to go silent here. Let me get a little closer. Again, I want to get that tanker and the cargo ship as close as I can here without being detected by the destroyers. Have we hit sunset yet? Still no, but visibility is poor, which is great for us. All right. It might be now or never time. Line up on this guy. Bring our speed up to 4 knots. And fire. Bring it over to the right just a notch. Try that. Ugh, not good. Probably gonna have to deflect downward a little bit. Yeah. And they're coming after us, so having problems here. Yep, they're firing at us. Please let me hit these guys. And that's it. Whoops. Full left rudder. Get the heck out. Try and get close here. Couldn't hit with the deck gun. That was unfortunate. They still haven't spotted us. And they've given up, I think. Or have they? Nope, they're still circling. Let's flank 135. I would love to be able to get to the other side here and just pop up and take a shot. Pretty sure that's what it's going to boil down to at this point. Get up to periscope depth again. We're going to be super close to him now. Let's try and move away from him just a little more. I like the idea of staying so close. Once we can get to periscope depth, I want to see where we're at, and maybe we can pop up and shoot him. Man, those guys are in the worst position, though. They've abandoned the track, which is interesting. They got to be super close to us now. I'm tempted to just throw another torp at this point. Might be easier. Especially if we're this close, we might give it a shot. Yeah, you're right there. That guy's right there. That cargo ship's still far away, man. Well, let's do it. Let's throw a torp at this guy. Oh, no way. We sank the destroyer. How funny is that? And now we have periscope down. We got to get away from here. Now they've moved south. Now they're going southeast. Interesting. Let's turn. Tight turn to the right. Try and outmaneuver them. Can't believe we still can't sink these guys. It's ridiculous. I had a feeling that that would happen. That the destroyer might sneak in front of the torpedo like that. I considered if it was going to happen, it was going to be a lucky shot, and I'll take that. I'll take that hit. That works for me. Because it's one less destroyer I got to worry about now. Our battery's okay. We still got to recharge it though. We're not under the gradient layer yet. Not there yet. Come on. Guess we're not getting it. Okay. Now we just need to position ourselves. Well, looks like they're going back. Alright, that's fine. Surface back again. Now I wonder what he's going to do for a pattern. I'm going to head course... looks like he's heading towards us here, but I'm going to head course 270. Probably should flank speed at this point, just to get away from him a little bit. Let's try full speed, keep this noise down. Rather not be detected. Heck, you know what? Run silent. Let him go by me. If the destroyer's going to run out in front like that, let's let him. We'll let them go by, and then I'll hit them from the rear. And if I'm lucky, I can sink both those cargo ships, the cargo ship and the tanker, I should say, and then get the heck out. Get back down to 42. What the? Periscope's still down, so he can't see us. Okay. Let's periscope up. See how far away they are. Well, he's right there. That's good stuff there. All right, let's do it again. Surface again. Try and match speed. Silly as it may sound. Let's get on it real quick here. Come on, hit. Yes! Get him again. Come on, sink already, will you? There it goes. All right. Quickly! Get to the tanker! Or that destroyer gets us. Yeah, too late. Got it. And it's going down. Sweet. Alright, let's get the heck out. Flank speed. Hard left. We did it. We finally did it. Perfect timing, too. Let's go run silent. Wait for him to take off, and then we're done. Get down to our deepest depth here, 298. Nice. And the interior's changed too. Look at that. We have some battery damage. Let's see if we can fix that. Good thing we're not moving anywhere. We have no battery power. I guess that explains the red tinting here. Just have to wait for him to give up. We could try to release debris and oil. Since he can't seem to see us, I'm just going to stay here for now. Come on, give up. You lost your 2 ships. I thought there was a way you could check the war patrol so far. What command is that? I wonder. Hmm. Kind of have to wait for him here. Where is it? Oh, there's a F4 quartermaster's log. We can look at that. That's what I'm looking for. Look at that. That's just a nice thing to see right there. You know, when you start sinking ships successfully, you got a tanker up on your screen there, 6,900 tons, cargo ship 3,900 tons, destroyer 2,400 tons. Nice to see. That's good. Now we just got to get the heck out of here alive. Did we fix this yet? I haven't fixed it yet. We can hold here for a while until they go away. He'll give up eventually. Let him circle. He'll circle. The AI will give up. We're sitting here silent. They can't detect us, so eventually he has to give up. Come on, dude. Persistent little bugger. Jeez. He's mad. Big Angies. Big Angies. Because we destroyed his 2 ships. And his friend, too. Alright. What are we looking at here, anyways? Still no power. Can't repair it. Well, apparently we did repair it, but we're out of power. That's no bueno. We can't move. Fastest time scale possible. Trying to get rid of this guy. Just a matter of the AI trying to give up now. Let's try this. Let's try releasing the debris. That changed his arc a little bit. Let's see if that matters. Still circling. We can't do the fake debris again. Come on, Bubba. You can't catch us here. You can't see us. Can't hear us. Just circle away and take off, will you? Goodness, this is annoying. Usually they just circle a bunch of times and then they just take off eventually. Hope he's not stuck. Because I literally cannot escape right now. The only way to escape is for him to leave. He's just getting close enough to us that we can't do anything about it. Oh, this is painful. Come on. Wow, this is painful. How long are you gonna sit here, dude? It's 1 in the morning right now. I wonder if we can somehow sneak away. I'll try heading at 045. We're below a layer though, man. Oh, no, wait a second. Hold up. Hold up. Hold that right there. We're under a layer finally. Maybe he'll finally give up. We do have the ability to move. That's good. We'll try and creep away here. And we have no more speed. That got us exactly nowhere. It's a bad situation. Worst case is... There we go. Now we're back under the layer somehow. I don't know what turning has to do with getting underneath the layer, but we'll do it. Maybe it'll force him to give up. This is crazy. I've never seen a scenario like this. We can't even go further ahead. We have to run silent. You'd think he would give up by now. Yeah, this is unfortunate the AI is stuck like this now. Alright, how do I get out of this? We have no battery power. We can't move. We're safe here. If we try to surface, we're bound to get hit by this guy. Torpedo is probably not going to work, given how fast he's circling. We don't have a 296-foot snorkel, so that won't work. I was kind of hoping that this guy would just like circle away from me to the point where I could surface, but it's not looking that great. He is slowly getting away from us. But he's still really, really close. Like 400 yards at the closest point. Kind of hoping he just kind of circles down to the south a little more. And then I can try and make a quick run for it. Yeah, this is in direct contrast to what I've seen this game do in the past, which is they circle for a while, they give up eventually, and then they just take off on whatever track they were going to go on. But now I think I might have to fight this guy. Which is very not good for me. Oy vey. What are we going to do with this? We have to do something because we're running into problems here. We really have very little we can do. If only we had a little more battery power, we could escape, you know? Oh, is he finally really leaving? No? He's still going. Still circling. Ugh. Dude, give up. Alright, we're gonna have to try it. Here we go. I think what I'm gonna try and do is just flank speed out of here as soon as I surface and just try and gun him down a bit. He's to the south of us. This is going to be very bad. Why are we doing right rudder? Yeah, I know. There's nothing I can do. We have no battery here, so we can't do anything here. And we've lost engines. That shot's never going to hit. We're going to sink, I think. Yep. Alright. All because of a faulty AI that just didn't want to give up. Yeah, 21 CJ. Whatever. That took a great game and really put a sour note on it. That makes me unhappy. But, oh well. Nothing I can do about it. So that was Silent Service, folks. We'll probably try it again. Try and find a better way to play it, I guess, or something. I mean, we could go easier level, but why, you know? This is the challenge, you know? Had we had a little bit more battery power, we probably could have escaped. Gotten out of range, gone up at night where the detection levels lower, and we could have possibly won that one. So that's gonna do it for me tonight. I'll see you guys Wednesday night. We'll do we're gonna do Pool of Radiance again on Wednesday night. I don't know how late we're going to go on that night because I do need to get sleep that evening for my interview the next day, which is fairly important. So it might be a short session on Wednesday, is all I'm saying. So this is 21st Century Jedi. Wishing you all the best. Um, fins up, bubbles up as always. Take care of each other. Look out for each other. And I wish you all the best during this week. I hope it's a great week for you guys. Hope you're able to muddle through, and we'll try and have some fun again on Wednesday, getting through beyond so-called keep to that optional area. And Sunday, if I'm not watching the Super Bowl, then I will probably go back to Privateer. Um, Next Monday, I might try this one again, just because I want to do a successful war patrol and not deal with crappy AI. Um, if we run into the same problem again, then maybe I'll switch to silent service too. But that's what the plan is for the next week. Hope you all are doing well wherever you are. Take care of yourselves, and I will talk to you Wednesday evening. This is 21st Century Jedi, signing off.